Hey, it's David Perdue here, and I want to make sure that you guys are here. And we're sorry for being a little bit late. It was my fault. I came from another meeting, and I wanted to make sure you can hear and see us before we get started here. I've got Dan Nickerson with us, so if you can, please just hit the chat box here and say hello, and yes, you can hear. And I'm checking in, and yes, great, all good. Okay, excellent. So this is my friend Dan Nickerson. Dan and I are buddies from a while back, and we've worked with Dan on some other projects. And Dan, I really got to know Dan on the Marketer's Cruise. That's where we hung out most of the time, and that was a lot of fun. My wife, Dan became my wife's favorite person on that boat, so that was great.
Gonna miss you this year.
Sorry?
Gonna miss you this year.
Yeah, not going this year.
Yeah.
Too many family things going on.
I hear you.
So Dan is kind of a developer genius. He's really well, yeah, don't roll your eyes at me. He's really well, and he's very modest. He's really well known in the as a back end guy for a lot of big name people, and does a really good job of putting stuff together. Now, he knows enough coding, I think, and I'm probably putting words in your mouth here, but you know enough coding to really kind of know exactly what you want, but you always get good coders to work with, right? Yeah. So
I'm a tweaker, not a from scratch guy, but once they give me the code, I can mess with it big time.
There you go. Right. Yeah. And so last week we promoted a tool called Metadomainer. And when Dan approached me about this, and I thought, you know, we're just not really into domain selling. And he said, well, you need to take a look at the page creation possibilities of this, because he said, how many domains do you have on your web, in your domain, in your hosting? And I said, well, I've got over 100. And how many of them have pages? Like 10 had pages. So I realized this was a really great opportunity for us to build pages quickly, get the domains monetized, and get them up there until we wanted to get rid of them by selling them or turn them into something else. And that's where the power of Metadomainer is, I think, is really in the page build and the ability to do this really simply and all in one place. People get a little concerned, though, about the complexity of stuff because they think it's software. I don't know how to do it. Dan's going to show you here today, anybody can do this. And he's going to walk through a little training, and I asked him to come on and do some training for our buyers as well. But let me just say first, if you don't have Metadomainer yet, you need to get it today because price goes up tomorrow and the extended license becomes another product tomorrow. So it's NAMS.com, NAMS.ws/Metadomainer, and I will put it in the link box here for you to take a look at. And you want to use a coupon code MyNAMS20, and that's going to get you 20 bucks off. So if you haven't got it, go ahead and get it, and we'll get you moving in the right direction. Dan, you want to show us some stuff?
Sure, and I will jump in and just kind of add to what you were saying. By the way, I've known David now. I think we first met maybe 8 or 10 years ago in Colorado. So I always say if I've had dinner with a person, I can call them a friend in my email. So every time I promote for you, I'm like, my friend David. I say, yes, I've actually had dinner with him.
That's right.
You know, so I always do that. But this product came about because a partner that I'm partnered with two guys, Gene Pimentel and Michael Neal, on this, and I've been friends with them and known them for many years as well. They're both active in the domain space, and Gene had launched a product which gave me tons of ideas for domain names, and I was like everyone, I'm like, oh, I bought the domain, I'll put something up when I get a chance. And I kind of realized, well, you know, that just describes pretty much everybody that buys domains. They'll put something up when they get a chance. So I'm a WordPress guy. I developed a really popular WordPress theme called Socrates. A lot of people know me from, and I like WordPress, but I think a lot of people like to transition to HTML because it's faster, there's less headaches. So I started thinking to myself, well, maybe I could just make a domain theme where you can actually make templates. And I said, well, wait a minute, I could actually use WordPress to create HTML sites and let people actually download the HTML. So I could use it as a web page creator. And it's funny because I was having dinner with some high school friends the other night, just an impromptu thing. And a guy mentioned, oh, is it like Microsoft Front Page, which is a flash in the past. And I said, you know what? It's almost like Microsoft Front Page. We're bringing it back in a way. And so that's what I'm here to show you. And I can just jump right in. And I assume that most of your customers are WordPress users.
Yeah,
probably
most of them are.
familiar
Yep.
with WordPress and
But I
stuff.
will
So,
say, before we eliminate that, one of the reasons I love this is because you click a button and you got an HTML site. I
right.
mean, I love that. So go ahead.
Yeah, and I actually just released an update too with even some more cool features. So I just want to say, because it's funny, because you launch a product in our typical launch model, and people are like, well, it doesn't have all the features that I'm looking for. I was like, well, we just started. It's like this is a long-term project, and I can't emphasize this enough. I see a very long-term project here. I have no other projects on my to-do list. This is hopefully going to be it, because there's so much potential in this particular business and industry. So I want people to know that this is just the very beginning, and we've talked a little bit about what it can do and what it will be able to do. And so it's very, very powerful, and I think you'll understand that in a second. So let me share my screen here. Can I have control?
You can. Can you take control, or can I give you control?
It says change presenter to me. Okay, hold on, I got it. I'm going to show, oops, I want to show my website though, just this window. So let me know when you can see my dashboard here.
I see the domains dashboard.
Okay, I'm actually going to close my window a little bit just so I can keep the chat thing open here. So
Would it be better for us to go off camera on this?
No.
Okay.
Does
good.
that look good?
Yep, that's great.
Okay, because I just closed it so I can keep our stuff on the sidebar here.
Okay.
All right, great. So I'm going to start with the dashboard. So I want you to see that if you know WordPress, all this is a custom post type called Metadomainer. I should say the area is called Metadomainer. It's called domains. So it creates a custom post type called domains, and these are actual domain names. So you would register a domain name. For example, I just registered this domain name yesterday. You're marketing experts. I saw it on a list of expired domains. I said, well, that's a good domain. That's worth something. So I just bought it, and in about 5 seconds, I made this web page with it. And David will concur. It takes about 5 seconds to make this page, although I did actually type in some text here, so maybe that did take about 8 seconds.
Yeah, it's really fast.
And so I made a web page, which is a very simple for sale page that you've seen all the time. And so it's just nice and clean looking. It's simple. Now, with Metadomainer, if I go into the edit function here, it looks just like a regular WordPress with the old school classic editor. And I basically just added some text here, and I have different templates. I have an Amazon ad page, I have a domain for sale template, I have a meta redirect, I have a clean slate template, a links menu, and a small business template. Now, just to the uninitiated, David, I may go a little bit around here. We'll get questions and stuff, but I'm just going to show quick functionality, then I'll go over how it all works. But let me just say, if I wanted to do a Amazon ad page with this template, I could just go in here. I could type in a search phrase like marketing books, and I could click on, I'm just going to click on preview changes, and you're going to see now I have a new page that has marketing books on it, all encoded to my Amazon affiliate ID. Obviously, if I wanted to, I could add in a title and stuff and so forth here. But this is an Amazon ad page. It's got ads. It's got a click direct to Amazon. It has an affiliate disclosure, and it has a copyright notice, and it has a privacy and contact page. Now, if I wanted to, I could say, I don't want to make this a links menu. I just want to advertise an old school park page like links menu. And here's a links menu, and it has outbound links to any links that I want to create. This is all done with the WordPress menu system. So that's what's really unique about this, is that you can create unlimited numbers of affiliate link menus. So instead of having a parked page where you share revenue with the parked page service, you actually can just use your own affiliate links or interlink your websites, or do whatever you want with these links. And then we have a clean slate template. So if you like to just play around with things, this is a clean slate template. It's almost just a blank page. So you can imagine that if you had a WordPress video, a YouTube video, you could just drop it in here and add an or button or buy button, and you have a direct, simple landing redirect page. And finally, we have a small biz template, and this is an advanced template, and I can click on that and click on preview, and it's going to give me a top menu here. It's kind of a long story. I need to change the menu. I will show the small biz template in a second. I'll show it from scratch. It's a little better looking. But essentially, you can just add in your domain name, add in some text if you want. You don't have to. If you just want to make something for sale, you can just make it for sale, click on the domain for sale, and essentially you have your for sale with a page, and these are direct links to your default contact links. So if someone wants to buy the domain from you, they just click on your default contact link, like so. This goes to a metadata support link, for an example, and they can make you an offer on the domain. So that is kind of neat. And once you have your page created, you can actually download the HTML or download the PHP file to your computer, and you can upload it to an add-on domain on your hosting account. And if you use the HTML, it's static forever. If you use the PHP code, you can remotely change the content of the page, just like I just did, on thousands of domains remotely from one install. So one thing that people aren't really fully grasping yet with Metadomainer is that if you have multiple hosting accounts, I know a lot of people probably have a hosting account where maybe they're just hosting a simple HTML page. Well, you could get rid of that hosting account and use Metadomainer or use an add-on hosting account and just add in a page. If you have clients, you can manage sites for them, just giving them PHP code, and you can control the content of their websites all from one site. Now, the other thing to mention here is that
Dan, before you go off of that,
yes,
I want to tell you that I just dumped a host that I had that was specifically reseller for other domains where I had domain pages. And my renewal date on that is November 6th, and it was going to be $599 to renew.
Yeah.
So I just dumped it. Thank you very much. That was about 20 times what I paid for the software.
Yeah, you know, that shocks me, because I will run into that all the time with people saying, oh, I have this host and that host and this host. I'm like, why do you have so many web hosts? Oh, I just ended up buying it for this project, for that project. And anyone that can take an inventory of their web hosts, you realize that, you know, why are you paying, you know, $10 or $20 a month to host one static HTML page? Right. You know, you don't need to do that. And the other method that we teach with this is that you can use domain forwarding and masking. I know I'm not going any real sequence here, which I apologize for because I didn't have anything prepared, but we do have a lot of videos, of course, on the webpage where I go step by step, and also on the YouTube channel where I go step by step on all this stuff. So if anybody's wondering, there are already many videos covering every aspect of Metadomainer. But what you can do is this URL right here. Obviously, if I click on it, I'm not going to save the page. If I click on it, this link right here, you can domain forward and mask it from your registrar to here. And I'm going to give you an example of that, which is I just did a demo for woodlawnroofing.com, and I just want to show this. So here's woodlawnroofing.com. This is a small business template. I did a video where I made this website in 3 minutes. You can see the full video on the sales page of how exactly I did it step by step, and how I registered the domain name, I made this page, and the site was live within 3 minutes from the time I registered it. So I show you step by step how to do that. And essentially all this is, if I view the source code of this page, David, can you see that? Did I lose you, David? Hopefully everyone can hear. Maybe David stepped away for a second. But if you see the source code of this, this basically is a domain forwarding and masking at work. And this is how domain forward mask works. It redirects directly to this page. So for no hosting account, just a domain forward masking, I made a website and I'm using GoDaddy domain forwarding and masking to redirect it, which means that if you have 100 domains or 1,000 domains, you don't have to pay for hosting. You could forward them and mask them to your actual Metadomainer page, and then you can control the content live. So as a perfect example of this, you can see that this domain is at woodlawnroofing.com. And I'm going to go back to all domains, and I'm going to go to woodlawnroofing.com, which is on here somewhere, right here. I'm going to go to edit, and I'm just going to say, this could be your domain today, right? So I'm going to go back here again, Woodlawn Roofing, come on. So you notice how this says, this could be your domain, and I'm on woodlawnroofing.com. I'm going to go here, this could be your domain today. I'm going to click on update. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to reload, and now you can see this can be your domain today, and I'm at woodlawnroofing.com. So with no HTML, with no PHP, and using one remote WordPress install, I just changed this domain live. So that's a pretty cool thing. So let me go through some more of this stuff just from the start. So when you first install Metadomainer, there's a settings panel. And on that settings panel, you control master settings. So we have a copyright notice, which you control. We have an affiliate disclosure, which you control, a contact URL, a buy now URL, a privacy link, a language, a Metadomainer username for a future affiliate program, a ClickBank ID for future ClickBank templates, button text, primary link text, and you can actually change the title of the for sale template. So if you wanted to, you could use any language you want in here. And then we also have Amazon native ads. So we use Amazon native ads to control how our ad page works. So this is a master panel. So you added your Amazon tracking ID. You'd add an Amazon link ID and a default search phrase. So if most of your sites are about gardening or dogs, whatever, you could add in a default search phrase there. And so this controls how the code appears on all the sites. And then this is a custom functions tab. And this allows you to add your own header code for pixels and tracking. This adds your own global CSS. So if you want a particular design or particular font or whatever, you can control all this from the custom CSS. And this is footer code. So if you want to add generic analytics, or if you want to add in more pixels or pop-ups or whatever, you can do that. And this is an ad code that creates a banner ad or any kind of ad across your entire site network instantly. So you can control, basically, if you have 1,000 web pages, you can change the ad code in here and you can change your ad across everything else. So those are the master settings. And then on each individual domain name, you can override those master settings. So here's where you control your price for sale. You can do a buy offer URL, a contact URL, a custom menu, which is an actual menu that shows in here. So for example, on this domain for sale template, it has a My Affiliate Links 1 is actually, I think I changed that on the thing. I'm gonna click on, let me just do, I'll just do domain for sale so you can see this. Domainforsale.com, choosing this, I have my Affiliate Links 1 template, click on publish, hit this, and I have this page for sale, domainforsale.com, and I have this add link here. Now, if I wanted to change this menu, I could just go into WordPress and I could make a new menu in Appearance and Menus, like here, and I put in, here's Dan's program. So that's an actual menu name. So I can go back to this and I can change it to Dan's programs. And that's, by the way, that's gonna be a drop-down menu in the next update. So you just auto select it. Oh, get rid of that. I'm gonna reload this. Oh, I changed the page. Forgive me, let me hit preview again. And now you can see it's changed. So now I have Aweber, HostGator, and Great Domain for Sale. So you can imagine that if you have domains in different niches, you not only can have a domain for sale template, but you can create your own niche affiliate menu to match the domains that you have for sale, which instantly allows you to monetize all of your domains for sales, and you keep 100% whatever of your commissions. You don't have to split them with a park page service. So that is a very cool thing. We also allow you to organize all your domains by categories and tags. So you can have these different tags, so you can organize by .com, .info, .net, what kind of niche it is and so forth, where it's registered, and you can then view all your domains. So if I had all of my domains were tagged for GoDaddy, this shows all my GoDaddy domains. If I want to see all my for sale pages, I can see these are all my domains that I have for sale right now. We also give you a portfolio shortcode. So on your master install, you can see all your domains. The people really like this feature. You can see all your domains here listed. This will take you off the domain, and this allows them to make an offer or buy now via your contact pages or your buy now pages. So this is a way for you to organize your entire domain inventory. Now, what else do I want to show you on here?
Well, let me ask you a couple of questions here first. And I was here. I couldn't find the mute button. Sorry. So far, I just want to make sure people understand, you've not done any coding here. You're just clicking and pointing and shooting.
Right.
Pretty much. This is all pretty much just click and update your text, basically.
Yeah, if I just bought MyNAMS linkspage.com right now, and I clicked on my links menu, and I just clicked on, I forgot this is my test install. I don't have that. Let me just click on, well, I'm not going to shoot, whatever. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to click on publish. And I go here, and this is, I already have a links page, MyNAMS links page. And I can just go to domain forward mask that from my registrar, and within 1 or 2 minutes in a reboot of my computer, that page would be live at mynameslinkpage.com.
Right. Okay.
That's how easy that is.
We got a question from somebody else here wanting to know if you can add a schema in that header area. Do you know what that question means?
Yeah, you can, and there's a lot more to you can do than that too. But I keep hearing about schema, but all these pages basically are schema tested, so they'll go through. But if you have a particular schema, we do have in the extended license, we let you control all the templates, so you can make your own templates with the extended license option.
And I want to make sure people understand that if they bought this prior to today, they got the extended license on the front end.
No, if they bought the extended license was in, if they bought it Friday today, it was the first upsell in the offer.
Okay, got it. It was the first upsell in the offer, right?
Yeah, and the extended license gives you the right to build sites for clients, to sell the pages that you create, to rent pages, which is a whole nother thing to cover. And also it gives you 2 additional add-on plugins. One lets you do a bulk import and export of all your domains, and the other adds custom templates. So you can control your own templates and do your own schema and do your own coding, whatever you want to do. So it's more for advanced users.
Okay. And so what happens today, I want to make sure that people understand what happens today, is that you go ahead and describe what's going to happen tonight at midnight.
Yeah, so we did an initial launch, which ended over a week ago, and our front end price went up for that launch, but the back end has remained the same. And the back end was an extended license for $47, and it's a one-time fee. So basically you get grandfathered, you don't have to pay for that again. But as of tomorrow, the new front end prices are going to be $67 for the basic license per year, and then $97 for the basic plus extended license per year. So we obviously have big plans for this, and it's going to continue to get better. And so, this isn't like a one-hit wonder where we wanted to make, a little bit of money and go away. This is like just going to continue to be improved. So
if they go to nams.ws/metadomainer and use the coupon code MyNAMS20 today before midnight, they're going to get what?
They're going to save $20 off the front end price, so the current front end price is $67. So they'll get the front end price for $47, and they'll be locked into that $47 rate for an annual license fee.
Okay.
And then there's an upsell, and I'll just let them know the upsell is $47 one time, and that gets you the extended client's license. It gives you the additional custom templates and the import app export. It also gives you I can't remember the number, we have 60 masthead images that come with the theme. So it gives you our masthead image pack, and I can actually just show you real quick too. These are all the masthead images that come with it. So I'll show how that works too, and we'll make a small biz template and I'll show how that works.
Okay.
So there's that, and then there's 2 other upsells. We've done really well. People just like the value, but the best value is that you would basically save $50 a year by purchasing today versus tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you're going to save upfront $50 right away, and then $50 per year by doing that. Once again, the goal here is that our goal is to save people a ton of time and to eliminate the need for our additional hosting accounts, which should easily save the money. And we have a lot more features planned as well. Okay, so we'll continue to add value there.
Back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah, so I did want to show, once again, when we created this, it was all about how can we help people make websites really fast so that they can monetize their dead domains. And when they register a domain name, they don't have to rely on a third-party parking service, and they can actually do something with the links. And I want to mention too, a lot of people register domain names and they don't realize that those domain names actually still have backlinks and get traffic. So if you bought a domain name that, let's just say it was a niche domain name, like I got discountgolfproducts.com, and I'm not sure what was on there, but you can see one of my pages here is discountgolfproducts.com, and so I registered it. It did used to be a domain name, but I have no idea how much traffic it's getting. But let's just say, for example, that I get 20 visits a month just from backlinks, random backlinks. Well, if one person comes here, clicks on this, goes to Amazon, and I make a commission per month, then this domain cost me $8 a year. But maybe I make $8 a month in commissions, right?
Right.
You don't know that until you get a domain up and discover whether it's getting traffic or not. But that's the thing what domainers like, is that they like to instantly know how much traffic a domain is getting, and they want to be able to just redirect and monetize it all. And I could buy this domain too, and if I wanted to, I could go in here and say, well, you know, I just bought another domain, and instead of having this page on, I actually want to redirect it. So I can just go into the meta redirect, and I could change it to Metadomainer, and I could choose, I'm going to redirect that in 5 seconds. I'm going to click on update. I'm going to go on this page, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it redirected the Metadomainer, right? So you can instantly change stuff on the fly. So if people went to discountgolfproducts.com right now, that page would actually redirect in 5 seconds because it's using this system. But then to go back, I just change it back to that template, and I just click on update, and it's done, right?
So man, if you got a lot of dead products or products you want to retire, you can still take advantage of all the traffic they're getting.
Right. And so the other thing to mention too is that, let's just say that you have 50 golf domains as an example. You don't have to make 50 unique sites. You could just make a new domain that was my golf niche sites, right? And you make your Amazon ad page with golf products, and then you just link all of them, forward all of them to the same address.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're just, instead of having to make all these domains, you just redirect to a niche page, which you control. And I do want to mention too that it's so much we want to keep secret, but we're going to work on a way to actually, our goal is to actually create a lot of niche products and niche affiliate programs that people can actually use our templates for and then link to. So we'll be able to give special commission rates and all kinds of stuff to customers. Let me jump into the small biz template, because that's kind of what gets people excited the most by Metadomainer. So I'm going to go, let's just say that, you saw the Woodlawn roofing that I did. Let's just say that I just registered, I live in Maine, so let's just say that I just registered Maine Roofing Company, right? As an example. MaineRoofingCompany.com, I don't know whether it's registered. I just registered that. I'm going to click on the small biz template, and I'm going to go into here, and I actually have short codes. By the way, David, I added buttons and panels as well in here.
Oh, cool.
I'll show that in a second. If I click on the small biz template like this, I just go in here and type in Maine Roofing Company, and I click on publish, and I go here. Come on. There is, now I didn't put a company name in, which is why there's a little gap. Let me go back and put the company name in. So I go down company name, and I'm just going to say Maine Roofing Company. Click on update and view. And now you can see it says Maine Roofing Company. I have jump links to about, services, and contact. You can see I have all these different icons here. So if you actually were making a website for a small business, you could just go in and you could add in their company name. You could add in a little intro, add a call to action if you want. You can add in about sections. You can add in their address information. And you have this simple, clean little website. Now, one thing I wanted to show too, which was GT metrics. So if people don't know what GT metrics is, it's a way for you to score your website to see how fast it performs. And so if I dump this URL in here and I click on test your site, you're going to see how quick these pages are. And thankfully, there's not a lot of people waiting in queue right now, which is nice. But if you want to see how slow your website is, if you're not familiar with this domain name, it's a great way to see how fast your website is. And so we should be done right here. So you can see that page speed score directly out of the box is 198 YSlow score, load time 1.4, only 9 requests. And so you can see here that this is just, as David will attest, this is an amazing score.
That is an amazing score.
And so it's all built on Bootstrap HTML. So if I go back to, let me go back to this page. If I click on view source, you're going to see here that we do inline CSS for most of our code template designs, but we use CDNs, which load remotely from Bootstrap, so you don't have to worry about any of those adding a load to your server. And we also have a cookie consent notice, and we have this. And one thing that we've recently added, David, which you haven't even seen, is, let me go back up a little bit more. If you're an advanced user, you're gonna love this. If I click on, oops, sorry. If I go to General and scroll down, I can click on Enable JS, click on Update, and when I do that, it now adds in 3 more JavaScript files, jQuery, Popper, and Bootstrap. We built these sites on Bootstrap 4, which is one of the most popular responsive frameworks, and Bootstrap has tons of code. And so if you're a designer, one of the things that I love about this is if I just go into Bootstrap, get Bootstrap examples, you can see all these example pages. If I click on, I'm trying not to, I don't want to confuse people, but I just want to show them this. This is just a Bootstrap page, right? Pretty simple, clean, nice little pricing table, right? If I go to View Source, David, have you seen me do this yet?
No.
If I go to View Source, and let's see, where is the, I'm going to grab this container right here, like that. I'm just copying that. I'm going back to this page, and just for kicks, I'm going to drop it right in.
Now you're in the advanced stuff here, so people.
I know. I love.
Right?
I just want to show. I just have to show. I'm just dropping that code. I'm clicking Update, and I just want to show. See my pricing table?
Oh, look at that!
Instant. I can use any Bootstrap code in these templates. So if you've bought one of the things, Bootstrap is awesome. Some people have maybe bought templates before, but it can be confusing actually making the web pages. But with Metadomainer, you can just drop in the code, and it works. Because we're doing all the Bootstrap libraries for you automatically. So if you're a designer, your head was just exploded a little bit from that. So there are thousands and thousands of Bootstrap templates on the web. Now you don't have to use FTP or HTML editors or anything. You can just dump them into the post editor in text mode and edit them from there, and you have sites. Now all this stuff will be available as shortcodes and stuff as we move forward as well. So I just want to show, I'm going to go back here, and I want to dump that out. I'm going to go back to visual mode here. So we have different shortcodes. So we have a domain title, which automatically add the title, like Maine Roofing Company. You can add a class. We have a domain headline. This is just basically, you can show your domain is for sale. We have buttons. So buttons are the most recent thing I added. I just want to show David how this works. Click on Update, and I'm going to open this in a new tab. And you can see I have a centered blue button, right there. So it's all built on Bootstrap CSS. So if I want to, I can change the color just by changing the code. So again, it's a little bit advanced. We'll eventually have all this done in more of a select the option, select the color kind of format. But we try to keep it simple and fast on the other end. In other words, we would rather have people spend an extra 10 minutes maybe customizing something so their website is 10% faster forever, if that makes sense. So I just changed that to BG Success. I click on Update, and I can go back, and now that button is going to be green. So once you play with this,
we got a question about this. First off, sorry, go ahead. Finish on your shortcuts. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I just want to show Amazon. Let's just say you want to add Amazon ads. I can just drop in an Amazon ad shortcut. I'm actually going to use the different template, the clean slate, and I just want to show. Just let me do the shortcodes for a second. Amazon ads, you can just drop them in anywhere you want. You can do multiple Amazon ads. You can stack them with different keywords if you want. And then we have columns, and David had asked me about doing columns. So you can see that here are columns, and let's just say that I wanted to do a column with different, I need to do this differently. Hold on one second. I'm just gonna go, this is gonna be confusing too. But here's a 2-column layout, and I just wanna do BG dark. Once again, it's advanced stuff. Click on Update, and this is a 2-column layout. Actually, you can see the 1/2 and 1/2. But there are lots of things you can do once you get the hang of using our shortcodes. But our goal, just like we did with a small biz template, is to add in lots of pre-done codes and designs. So you drop this in and you simply rewrite the text, right? Okay. And that's how you get these pages made. But for the most part, for the most part, most people that buy domains, all they're going to want to use is the Amazon ad page and the domain for sale template. So 90% of our customers, that's all they want to use. And for those, you simply just type in some really basic information and click on publish and you're done, right?
Yeah, when I first saw this from you, I was kind of blown away by the opportunity, because I know how you think, and I thought, man, you are onto something here that's just going to keep going and keep going and keep going. And so your response that you got on the launch and in your Facebook group, which is really active,
Yeah.
the response that you got on all of that stuff has really encouraged you to keep moving forward with this. I'm really delighted to see that.
And I wanted to show too, just one, people wonder about, WordPress is great, but WordPress does create headaches. I mean, I manage about 100 different WordPress sites. I'm getting alerts all day long. I'm constantly have to doing updates and stuff like that. And there are a lot of sites where people build an entire WordPress site just to put a little opt-in page or a landing page on it. And it's just like, do you really want that headache, or would you rather just make a page that you never have to touch or you can control remotely?
Well, I can answer that.
Yeah, so we will have all of those functions. But I just want to show this download HTML, for example. You just click on download HTML and it downloads. I assume you can see that. Download the index. It downloaded the index HTML to my desktop. Now, if I actually own this domain, I could go in my cPanel. I actually loaded this up, and I could just type in main. So I go and add a mainroofingcompany.com. Once again, for someone, I'm sure someone owns it. I'm just going to choose a random password. Nobody steal that. I'm going to click on add a domain name, and it's adding. And of course, it's slow for some reason, which sometimes does happen during GoToMeetings. All right, so just added that add-on domain name, and I can go in here, go to File Manager, go to Main Roofing Company, click on Upload, choose File, and oops, let me go. You probably can't see that pop up. I don't think you can see my pop up, but I just grab the index file from here, and now I go back here, and that file is now at mainroofingcompany.com. So I can go to my registrar and point the DNS to my hosting account, and that site is going to be live. And so this is the full source code of that. It's all right there. And so if you know what you're doing, you can go in and edit the code once you do that. But if I wanted to use the PHP file, I could just download the PHP file. And it actually opens up in, you probably can't see that. I'm going to go back here. So this is the PHP file. Now I'm going to do a little trick. Instead of uploading it, I'm just going to, for the sake of this demo, I'm going to rename this here PHP. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to click on edit. And this is what the PHP code looks like. And so you can see this PHP code just kind of works like a frame, but it shows from the search engine perspective as a full website. So this would actually load the content of this page onto this domain name. And from Google's perspective, it looks like a legitimate site it is a legitimate site. It looks like a real page with real content, and it will get indexed in search engines. Domain forwarding and masking sites do not typically get indexed in search engines. This PHP code will get indexed in search engines. So that's
okay. So I want to get a couple of questions in here now.
Sure.
Okay. And let's go back to Metadomainer. If
Okay.
we're domaining, Steve says if we're into domaining or want to know how to offer this for clients who have already registered their own domain names with other registrars, is training included on how to set things up for clients?
No. That is something I haven't really thought about as far as setting things up for clients yet. I figure that from a client perspective, it's all just about making the web page. So you might have client that I just want a one-page website. So you would just use Metadomainer as your page creation tool, right?
Okay.
So I don't have the information on that, but the idea would be if you're in the business of working with clients, you would just use this as a web page creator. So there wouldn't be a plan to it. You would just work on your own designs. I know I have one customer already who's using the small biz template, and they're basically just going in and dropping into small biz, and they're adding the client's information. Well, what's one thing I didn't show is the masthead. But once again, looking at this page, I need to go back and change. I didn't update it. What did I do? Update. There we go. Reload. Oh, geez. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention this also looks really cool on the clean slate template as well,
Sure does.
or on the Amazon ad template. Let me go back, and sorry if I'm all over the place here. Reload. So from a client perspective, you would make a page like this for them, fill out their information, and then you could upload it to their hosting account for them. So we don't have any information on managing that business yet. I assume we'll get to that point. But what I wanted to mention too was the opportunity with the extended license of actually renting a domain. So let's just say that you have domains for sale. You could go in here and you could say, this could be your site. Come on. And you could say, buy for $499.95 or rent for $9.95 per month, and update that. And now if someone was looking, someone had a main roofing company and they came to this website and they really love the domain name, and they go, holy crap, I can rent it for $9.95 a month. Then basically, if you can rent one of these sites, you bought the domain for $9.95 a year, and you're gonna rent it for $9.95 a month, and it took you 9 minutes to make the website, let's just say, that's a really good business model if you can do it. So we'd like to get more into that business where we basically have if you want to rent sites, we'll be able to list sites in a rental directory for you. We'll do all kinds of stuff. But I really like the idea of renting site, because from a business owner standpoint, they don't have to worry about hosting. You just host it on your account. They don't have to worry about maintenance. You handle the maintenance, or you could say, oh, it's for $19.95 a month. I'll make up to 3 changes on your site. You know, for $29.95 a month, I will do SEO for your site, right? And you can do multi-page websites with this as well. And so I actually have a tutorial on that on YouTube. So if you want to know how to do this for multi-pages, I show you how to make a multi-page website in just a few minutes using this as well. And it's just a matter of changing your link menus, because you have full control over all the link menus here. And that's all this is. This is a WordPress link menu. So if I go in,
so I'm going to go to the next question.
Yeah.
I have some specialist image control and protection software that uses JS. Could I run my images in using our JavaScript?
I would have to know. I'd have to know more about that.
Okay.
And I'll just say on every domain, we have a custom code section. So you can add your own header code, your own custom CSS, your own footer code, your own CSS classes. So if you have your own JavaScript code, you can add it to the footer code here, and it will appear in the global footer.
Okay.
Same with the header code. Now, what I didn't mention was, I'm just going to go in. I'm going to show the additional plugin here. Let me make sure it's just upload. I actually just released an update for that today. And come on, why is it not working? That's weird. I guess it's okay. I guess it's right. Oh no, I moved it. Are you seeing my screens, by the way?
Yeah, I'm seeing your, well, all I'm seeing is your WordPress add plugin screen.
Okay, cool. All right, I just added the Metadomainer templates. I just want to show you this here. I'm going to install. This is part of the extended license. And I just added the custom templates add-on. Now when I go to Metadomainer, I said Mad Domainer. See if that domain's available. Now when I go there, you're going to see it has custom 1, custom 2, custom 3 locations. Cool. So you can go in via FTP or File Manager and edit these templates yourself. So if you want to add schema, if you want to add your own special functions, you can just use these, and these will not be overwritten. This plugin does not have an automatic, the import add-on does not have an automatic updater. So you can be safe knowing that these will not get updated. Just make your own code, make your own designs. So it's a very neat feature of Metadomainer as well. Okay. And I did forget to show the masthead image. I'm going to go here, back to here. Let's just say on this particular design, I don't want this boring kind of background. I can go into media, and these are all the templates that come with it. I'm going to choose this image right here. They're all 1920 by 550, which we find is the best size for a masthead image. It's only 139K. I'm going to go in here and copy the link, right? So I'm just going to go in there and copy the link. I'm going to scroll back down, to the masthead image URL location. This isn't a featured image, just a masthead image URL. By the way, we have tooltips on everything too, so you can see what everything does. Click on update, go back here and reload, and now I have an image background. So that's how easy it is to add a full masthead image background to your site.
Cool.
Right. And so, and David will tell you too that, you know, those images themselves, just having that stuff ready to go is a huge time saver and money saver if you have to go buy one graphic, you know, for use with the client site.
Well, plus I'll tell you, if you have access to any of the stock photography that we've done, I use your image, by the way, as a template to create a bunch more. So I have a whole bunch more that fit my niches easily. So the same size and everything. So Steve says, I see the value of what this offers. What's the post-sale training included or offered?
So we have, I can actually just show too the, I'm going to go to, by the way, I have this MyDomainStack/templates link, which you can see the actual direct links to see what these templates look like. But we have a, let me go to, I just want to show the documentation page. Come on. So this is actually a short link to our documentation. And I'm going to say something that will boggle people's minds. But so we have a growing Google Doc. In fact, I just added shortcuts today, and I've already added the information in the Google Doc. It's all organized in here. We also have a Facebook group that you can join where you can ask questions. I also have the YouTube channel. So if I go to, it's actually Metadomainer, a shortcut is Metadomainer/YouTube. And this is the Metadomainer YouTube channel. So I already have 147 subscribers, which is pretty good for 10 days.
Yep.
And so these are all the additional videos that I have. And of course, I'll keep adding them as well. If anyone's seen my Socrates YouTube channel, you'll see that I do lots of videos. And so between the Facebook group, the documentation, and this, I'm going to tell you, David, we had well over 1,000 sales on our launch.
Yep.
I was just shocked that we have not had support questions.
Right.
I've had like maybe 15 support questions, and I've never seen anything like it. In fact, the last day of our launch, I got invited to go play golf, and I'm like, I can't, I got to launch. And I said, well, you know what? This launch is so quiet. And I played 18 holes of golf. I didn't have a single email, but we made about 80 sales, you know, during that time. And I'm like, okay, this is just, I've never seen a product like this where apparently it's so intuitive once people start using it and the documentation that they don't have questions.
Okay, so I've got another question from Reggie. Reggie Patterson says, how do you know how much to charge for a domain? Do you have any tips on that, or is that covered?
Yeah, we don't. Well, this is the one thing where with our Facebook group is that we try not to, in fact, I can go into Facebook groups, Metadomainer. We do have kind of the rules of engagement here in the sense that we do want to protect our time. So basically the Facebook group is all about help with the plugin itself. It's not a coaching group.
Right.
We do have an upsell where there's a more platinum group where you can join and ask specific questions. But there's so much training online that we haven't got into that yet. You know, my goal is to just create like a little primer or primer, however you want to pronounce it, that helps people get started with domaining. But we don't have anything specific as far as domaining training at the moment. Okay. So price-wise, a domain is worth whatever someone is willing to pay for it. So.
So the next question was, can we add more pages than the About Us, Contact, and Services? And that's the menus, and you were going to talk about the menus a little bit more.
Yeah, so the menus are, so basically the small biz menu, if I go in here, by default, we automatically load My Affiliate Links 1, for example, and we load the small biz template as well. And this is the small biz template. Now you're going to see this is, you'll understand if you know websites. This is about, that was a test I did. Need to remove that. The URL is about. Now that's a jump link. So if you use the pound symbol or hashtag, if you're under the age of 40, it is a jump link to the about section. And this services is an about link to the services section. Excuse me. And the contact link is a jump link to contact. So let's just say, for example, that you wanted to add a new section. I could go into custom links, and I'm just going to use that as a section example. So let's say it's portfolio, right? I'm gonna call it portfolio, and I'm gonna call this portfolio. Excuse me, I need to go out of here. I'm gonna click on add to menu. I'm gonna save it. Now when I go back here, now all of my templates and domains that are using the menu are gonna have this show up. So I just, for this example, I didn't capitalize it. Now, if I click this, it doesn't go anywhere, right? But if I go back to this template, I'm gonna go back to Metadomainer. This is a neat little trick. Go here. You're gonna see here that all of these different sections, this says Metadomainer section ID is equal to about. This one says ID is equal to services. And I can go and just copy, I'm just gonna copy this code, which is here. I'm gonna drop this in here. Once again, I know it's a lot for people initially, but I'm gonna change this to portfolio. Now I'm gonna go and get rid of this. I'm gonna say our portfolio. Now I'm gonna test something, and I'm not sure it's gonna work, but that's one of the things I like to do live. I'm gonna grab a few images here. I'm gonna insert them into post. Now I'm gonna click on update. Now I'm gonna reload. Now when I click on portfolio, it jumps to my portfolio with the 3 images there. See? So that's you can use, and I do show tricks, by the way. So one of the things that's important to note is that I built this and I didn't realize how well WordPress was going to work in it. So all of these functions of WordPress basically work. You can use the WordPress post editor. Now this is my Socrates Toolkit plugin that has all these different functions: accordion menus, social icons, progress bars, browsers, timers, toggles, all that stuff. You can use that with Metadomainer. You can use any third-party plugin with Metadomainer, but there is a trick. And the trick is you just have to enqueue their codes. And I actually have a video that covers exactly how to do that. So if you have a favorite shortcode plugin with just a couple of minutes of tweaks, you can use that if you want on all your Metadomainer sites. So you can add all those functions in. So it's kind of a neat thing you can do here. So I'm going to go back on the menu.
While you're doing that, I got one more question that you can answer. Sure. I think it's a quick one. It says, for the Amazon ads, is there a level of Amazon affiliate one needs to do what they're doing, or any affiliate can use this?
You have to be an Amazon associate.
But there's only one level, right?
There's only one level. Yeah, I'm not aware of another level. I'm not a high-end Amazon associate. I have an account, but I don't do a lot with it.
Does this work with Gutenberg and the block editor?
It does not. Do you know anybody? I don't know anybody that personally likes Gutenberg, but
we turn it off.
What's that?
We turn it off.
Yeah, everyone I know turns it off. Let's put it this way: it can work with Gutenberg. It's funny with Socrates, by the way. I actually have a way to disable Gutenberg, so you can disable if you want to make your websites faster. This actually disables the loading of the Gutenberg file. So it makes your site a little faster because you're not loading their CSS file. However, if you'd like blocks, you can use the code as long as you enqueue the Gutenberg library file, if that makes sense. But we do not have the Gutenberg editor built in. I don't really want to do that. So I keep waiting for WordPress to say, we screwed up. We're going back to the classic editor. But I don't know if they'll do that or not. So we'll eventually may have something that you can do with it, but at the moment we don't. But there are some Gutenberg block codes that I like, and if you know what you're doing, you can easily add them to the current system that we have.
This is such a powerful tool, Dan. I am really impressed with this because it's going to solve so many issues. Once you get started doing online business, you end up with so many domains at some point because, oh, that's a good domain, I want that. I had 550 at one point and was only using like 10. So, you know. Yeah,
that's that. And people just people else let them go. I know guys that have thousands of them. It just shocks me. By the way, you might notice this domainer theme. So that is on my to-do list. So basically you'll have a domainer theme that you can use as your master install. And I should cover that as well. So you notice that I have mydomainstack.com, which I use for my domain install. And so what we recommend people do is actually create a domain name for their domainer install. So you might have your own personal domain name. Oh, I'll just add the plugin there. We think it's best to actually have a separate domain. You know, if you're a domainer, it doesn't to buy one more domain shouldn't be an issue. But that way you keep everything under one umbrella. You're not tied into another site. And there's an additional reason, which is one, I'm not going to say it's a flaw. It's just something that you have to know. So you're going to notice that this is set to not secure. And there's a reason for that. And that is that domain forwarding and masking does not work with SSL. So you're not going to find a Park page service that has an SSL site, HTTPS, because that means that Park page service or the registrar has to get a certificate for every single domain in their system. And they're not going to do that. So I keep it this way for demo purposes, but if you're going to use an add-on domain and you can set up Let's Encrypt or Cloudflare SSL on your sites, then sure, you can make your master install SSL. But a lot of hosts these days have forced SSL, and so that just can present some problems. So all we're saying is, before you switch to SSL, just make sure that you don't have forced SSL and that you're not using domain forwarding and masking. And it's just one of those things with domain space. And what people have to realize is that for most of these websites, there's no forms. You're not necessarily going to shop and use your credit card information on these pages. And so if you're using domain forwarding and masking, those pages aren't going to get indexed anyhow. So if you're only using add-on domains and you only have 20, 30, 50 domains, and you have a really good hosting account, you can go in and set up SSL on those pages. And it's just an extra minute or two per setup, and you'll be all fully SSL. But just for the sake of you wanting to use domain forwarding and masking and having forced SSL with my web host, I keep my site set to not secure. So, and it's just really, like I said, it's really kind of a thing. It's like, it's not secure if you have, it's a bad language than not secure. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not like someone can hack you. It's if you're transmitting data.
Right.
Someone can intercept it, kind of thing. You're not transmitting data with these pages. This is kind of what I'm getting.
Okay, and the last question is from Danny, and it is there a way of using Elementor on any of these pages, page builds that I'm used to?
Yeah, so that is a complex question and something I had told David that I'm going to start looking into. I know a lot of people are using Elementor. Everything on those sites is basically CSS and JavaScript, and what that means is that if you enqueue, if I go to my third-party demo trick video, which I'll just go back to again. Let me just type this in again. Whoops, sorry, how'd that happen? I just want to go back here. I want to share this video. If I can type today. Oh, open a new window. I can't win. I'm getting jumpy. Hold on. So this was my Metadomainer trick. Use WordPress plugins, HTML pages. And so I actually stopped it at this link, and you're going to see header code. If you actually get the Elementor code that enqueues their style sheet, then you can use their CSS in our templates. So if you have an Elementor page and you enqueue their stuff, you can drop in the post editor, you can drop in the code, and it should work.
Okay,
I haven't tested it yet. But the idea here with a third-party trick is all you do is load up your live site that is using that plugin. You look in the source code for the particular assets that they're loading, whether it be a CSS or a jQuery or JavaScript file, and you simply enqueue them in the header code or the custom footer, which then gives you the ability to use all of their code on your page.
This is one of the things I love about what you do, Dan. You always figure out how to work around stuff.
It is a workaround. I tell you, people come to me.
It is like you're always the problem solver with, this is a puzzle. Let's figure out how to do this.
Yeah, that's, it's funny because that's what I enjoy about this stuff too, is just finding ways to when I discovered, I had a question. A perfect example is I had a question about toggles the other day. This guy really wanted an FAQ toggle, and so where was the? It's accordion, accordion stuff, collapse accordion example. So I said, well, this code right here, this is collapsible accordion, and you can copy this code and go into a template. And I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to type in some text. And I'm going to drop this in text mode. Click on preview, and it's not going to work. It doesn't work, right? Well, that's not good. It doesn't work. Well, I said, well, how can I fix that? I'm actually going to change the template to clean slate. Well, I added Oops, dope, sorry. Come on. I added additional JS files into this. And now if I click on publish and I view this page, the accordions work. It's a little, ow, I know why this is not going to work on this page. Did I hit the wrong template? I might have hit the wrong template. Should have hit clean slate. Well, that's not good. I might have made a little mistake in my latest update. Let me click on that one. No, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Oh, I know
You've
why.
already gotten way ahead of
No,
us.
I know what the problem is. So it's a CSS issue with this. I'm just going to do this. It's going to change it. Whatever, you get the point. The point is that I added, yeah, that fixes it. It now works because I added the JavaScript library that will work with all of Bootstrap codes. So someone asked me a question, and in the next update, I solved the problem, basically. And then in the next update, we'll have short codes to create your own FAQs and collapsible accordions and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah. So I put in the chat box here again, you guys, about where to get this and what coupon code to use, and you need to do it today. So if you're watching this tomorrow, the coupon code is still going to work, and it's going to work until till Sunday. But it's not going to be the deal that you're going to get today. So you need to use this coupon code today to get the best deal. And it is going to, it's in the chat box now for you guys to all look at. And it's nams.ws/metadomainer. I hope you've already got it. And you want to get the first upsell, which gives you all of the templates and the ability to do the licensing and the renting and the selling of the sites as well. So make sure that you do at least those two. And Dan, I think we're coming to the end of this. You got something you want to hit us with before we go, or is this it?
I just want to say, one thing, it seems to, there are a lot of people that are seeing this for the first time and discovering who I am for the first time. And I just want to let people know that, like I said, I have two partners in this, both domain experts, and I love this model so much that I'm literally, our heads are spinning with all the things that we want to add to it and all the additional features and functions that we will be adding. And most launches, you see these launches where these guys just launch something that basically they do a launch every 60 days.
Or every 2 weeks now.
New magical software, and then they leave and they don't answer support tickets. I'm always I'm always online. I've been doing this stuff forever. So if you go to, I go to dannickerson.com, and I have this little thing where my projects and I have this stuff, but I just have a long history. I don't launch a lot of new products, but I have my Socrates theme, and so I've been doing this stuff since 1995 is when I started online building stuff, but I'm always around. My Socrates team has been live and selling every day for 9 years, and I've supported it 365 days a year. And I'm always online, as David will tell you. And so this is a long-term project, and I see lots of potential for doing all kinds of things. It's a way for people to create multi-page websites, quick websites, remote control websites, to get off WordPress, to reduce hosting costs. And ideally, eventually we want to get into more of the domain selling and helping people sell their domains and monetize their domains. And that's kind of where we're going. But there's lots of neat stuff. In fact, I've just worked.
Well, my head spins too when I look at it from the business perspective of all the opportunity you have. And I really want people to understand that you do not do one and dones. That's one of the things I love about you, is that you always create stuff, stick with it, make it better, do all those things. So, Dan, thank you very much for being here. We're over our time, and I want to let people jump out, and I appreciate everything you've done today.
All right, thank you, David. Thanks, everyone.
I learned a lot.
Great.
Okay, thanks. See you guys.
Bye.